Hey, horror fans! Once again, it is me, the horror miser, Monty G, trying to review one of my most anticipated horror films of the year. Yes, it is the sequel to 2022's Megan. It is Megan 2.0. Yes, that bitch is back.
Y'all ready for this?
Hey, horror fans! Once again, it is me, the horror miser, Monty G. Now, Megan 2.0 is a 2025 American science fiction action film that was written and directed by Gerard Johnston. Now, the film stars Allison Williams, Violet McGraw, Amy Donald, Jenna Davis, and Ivana Schnickno. I think I pronounced her name right. Now, in this film, 2 years after Megan's rampage, her creator, Gemma, resorts to resurrecting her infamous creation in order to take down Amelia, a military-grade weapon who was built by a defense contractor who stole Megan's underlying technology. Oh no! So when the sci-fi horror film Megan was released in January of 2022, she was an instant success. Thanks to her incredible marketing campaign, she was a success at the box office, making over $181 million worldwide on a budget of only $12 million. Not only that, she became popular amongst horror fans, considering her the best killer doll in horror over Chucky. Ooh. Oh, yes. I know my good friend Jen from Jen's Reviews and Great. She cannot stand Megan at all because she loves her some Chucky. But it's obviously Megan has really shot up there as one of the top horror icons, almost coming in league to overtake Chucky, right above the Holy Trinity, Freddy, Jason, Michael. She's not up there yet, but she was getting close to surpass Chucky. So, of course, it was no surprise that a sequel was greenlit along with a spin-off film called Soulmate, which will be released sometime in 2026. We don't have a release date yet, but we do know it's being released in 2026. For now, New Zealand screenwriter and director Gerard Johnson brings us the next installment of Megan, and this is Megan 2.0. Taking place 2 years after the events of the first film, we see that Gemma has become an author and an advocate for regulating artificial intelligence, while Katie is following in her aunt's footsteps, learning more about computer science. However, the government now has a new AI robot called Amelia. That is an autonomous military engagement logistic and infiltration android who was created by the stolen blueprints of Megan's original design. Now, if you do remember, I think sometime during the second and third act of the film, we actually saw one of the guys. I think the main guy's henchman, or I guess it's a middleman, had actually downloaded and saved all of Megan's design copies and code into a flash drive and took it. So I guess he sold it to the military contract, and now we have Amelia. Now, of course, it's no surprise Amelia turns on her creators and starts a killing spree. Gemma learns that Megan has survived as well, and she tries to convince Gemma that she is the only one capable of stopping Amelia into an AI takeover a la Skynet. Now, I'm pretty sure, just like myself and other people, when you saw the first trailer, you understood what was happening and what I understand what the premise is going to be. I had a feeling that this is really not going to be a horror film. That's because, and unlike the first film, there are no horror elements, as it plays more into the science fiction genre, such as Terminator 2. In fact, I'm sure some people will be getting Terminator 2 vibes when watching this film, because it seems that Gerald Johnson was influenced by that film. And that's because there are many similarities between that film and this one, mainly with Megan being Arnold's T-101 model and Amelia being the T-1000. I mean, when you look at it, Megan seems to be the old model, just like Arnold's 101 model, and Amelia is the new upgraded version because she was the military specs have her much more durable, faster, smarter. So hence the T-1000. So you have very similarities between this film and Terminator 2. Also, it seems that Johnson is focused on showing how dangerous AI or artificial intelligence can be, specifically if it's in the wrong hands of the humans who have the nefarious intentions for it. It's good that we actually see this underlying message, but he doesn't shove it down our throats. It's basically played throughout the film. Little hints in there. We get to see what's going on with Gemma and what's happening with Christian. I think that's what his name is. Its real name's Christian, but he pronounced it Christian, and his role that he plays in this particular film. So it's a really nice underlying message that Gerard is showing here, but he doesn't shove our throat, doesn't shove it down our throats. And of course, we see this throughout the movie, especially in the third act when Megan and Amelia have their fight with each other with plenty on the line. I won't reveal what that is, but if you've seen the film, you know what I'm talking about. Now, despite this film being 2 hours long, Johnson does a good job with the pacing as the audience enjoys the interactions with Gemma, Candy, her co-workers, and Megan. And unlike the first film, we do get some nice set pieces as the heroes try their best to stop Amelia and her goals for the AI takeover. Also, the humor is back as well, as we get some funny moments during the second act of the film, along with some funny scenes involving Cole, one of the co-workers who is back in this film as well. There are some nice bonding moments that we have in this film, especially when Gemma and Megan. There is a scene that takes place right around the start of the third act of the film as we get to see some guilt that Gemma has having, saying that she believes that what's happened with Megan is kind of her fault. But then we see Megan, she seems to be now growing and understanding what she did was wrong, and that the fact is that her main primary programming was to protect Katie. There are plenty of action in this one as we get to see Megan and Amir kick some ass, along with a decent fight scene involving Gemma using a robotic exoskeleton. But you can clearly see that's really not Allison Williams, though. They really did not good job in that fight scene, though. But it was still nice to see it, though. I had a good time laughing at that scene because you can tell how they filmed it. It was filmed very well, it was choreographed very well, but you can tell that's not Allison Williams. Speaking of Allison Williams, she's fine, and so is Violet McGraw. They have some very good chemistry together. I like some of the back and forth that they have with them, as you know, Violet is starting to. Katie is starting to wanting to be the same thing as Allison, but Allison still has her faults or her guilt that seems to be not allowing her to truly bond with Katie. And I thought there was a great chemistry between them two. Of course, Amy Donald is great as Megan, showing that she was born to play this role, along with Janet Davis providing Megan's voice. It's like Brad Dourif is the only person who can be the voice of Chucky, as you can't see anyone else playing that role outside the Child's Play remake, or of anyone else playing Megan in this film series. Maya Shako, she does a good job as Amelia, as she has some moments, but isn't really the threat that she should be, mainly due to the toned down violence that this film has. If there are two problems I do have with this film, one is the script that Gerald Johnson has. Now, no, Akira Cooper wrote the original film, and she created Megan and all these characters right there. I thought she did a better job as far as the script as she did in that film. Gerald Johnson's script here is okay. Like I said, he has an underlying message about the dangers of AI, but he doesn't have the type of spirit that's missing in this particular film. That's what's missing in this particular film with the script he has written here. Another complaint that I have with this film is that the filmmakers seem they don't want to push the boundaries. So we have like a teenage version of Terminator 2. It's like what they did in the first film, because the first film, while it was good and everyone loved it, the violence is toned down. It's like they don't want to push the limits when it comes to Megan. We all know that Megan is capable of violence, so why not at least up the violence, or at least Amelia up the violence with her to make her a much more dangerous threat? I'm not saying that what she did was good, because, like I said, I did like the fight scenes her and Megan had. But if you're going to tone down the violence, you're going to not at least show what type of a danger Amelia is, because she does kill people, and we do see some kills, but the either off screen or we don't see the aftermath. It's like, come on, guys. It's like that's one of the reasons why we want to see the violence. If these robots can be violent just as much as we see in Terminator 2 or any other Terminator films, then we should see that as well. I mean, the one thing that I say that I do agree with when it comes to Chucky has an advantage over Megan is that Chucky is more violent and he takes no prisoners. And if Universal is looking ahead for a Megan versus Chucky film, because I'm pretty sure it's been talked about, the film is going to need to take the kids' glove off and let's see Megan really kick some ass because that's what the audience and fans like myself and anybody else wants to see Megan do, and that's kick some ass. So take off the gloves. Enough of this PG shit. Now, overall, like I said before, this isn't a horror film, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people might not like that, but it's still, for me, a fun and nice sci fi action film with some decent fight scenes, some nice set pieces, and some good acting from all the leads. So I'm going to give Megan 2.0 only 3 out of my 5 bloody gold points. It's pretty good, almost just as good as the first film. A little bit disappointed because I expected something a little better. But then again, like I said before, Gerald Johnson's script is okay. It just lacks some of the spirit that we had in the first film. Like I said, the acting is good. Megan's good. She does a great job. I like the growth that Megan has in this particular film because now that she understands what she's capable of doing. But again, come on, enough of this PG-13 bullshit. Let's show some violence because I have a feeling that if this film is successful, we're probably going to get a third Megan film, and eventually, I'm pretty sure Universal is thinking about it. Megan versus Chucky, make it happen. So there you have it, horror fans. That is my review and video for Megan 2.0. Hope you did enjoy it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, like, and share. It really helps out with the YouTube algorithm. Have you seen Megan 2.0? What are your thoughts about it? Do you think we should finally take the kids going off of Megan and let her kick ass? Leave your comments in the comment section below and tell your thought about the film. Also, if you're new here, please hit that subscriber button, ring that notification bell. That way you'll be notified anytime when I put up new videos such as this one. Once again, my name is Lamont Smith, better known as the Horror Miser Money G. And always remember that rules. And I see you in my next video. Guys, stay safe out there.